Hey everybody, it's Katie. This has been one of my most requested videos and I really sort of am running out of time to do it, so I'm just going to squeeze it in. I'm sorry if it's bad lighting, but this is my one chance. So this is some of the recent crafts I've done and also some of the Christmas gifts that I've made for people this year. I will link to anything that I used a pattern for or got an idea from somebody or have a link to. I will link to those in the description box. And I will also link to my video from the previous year, last year's homemade Christmas gifts. I made a lot more myself last year because this year, because we were so sick, I've just really run out of time. So anyways, this is what we have. So I have made videos on a couple of things I've done recently and I'll just link to them. I'll just mention them quickly. I did the putting puffy paint on the bottom of Alice's socks to make them non-slip. I made a video about that. I made a video, I can't remember which video, but I put an image in of a felt Christmas tree I made on the wall for Alice to play with, like with felt ornaments, based on an idea I got from Megan Layla. So, I don't know, I will put in a picture of it, I think, and then I'll try to link to Megan's video. I made a touch and feel like sensory box, like a mystery sensory box for Alice, and I made a video about that I will link to. Okay, a couple other really simple things that I've done recently. I made little stamps for Alice. She's gotten really into painting, figure painting, and so I took a like styrofoam mushroom tray, like you get a package of mushrooms, and they're usually in a blue styrofoam container. And so I took and just made different shapes, just used an X-Acto knife to cut different shapes into the foam, and then I hot glued on like a handle for her, and she loves these things. It's really easy for her to grip. The hot glue bonded really, really well. So that you'd think that they would be flimsy, but they're not. The mushroom containers are really pretty strong. So we've been playing with these a lot in paint, and they wash off cleanly. So that's been fun. This is not a gift, but I made Alice a pair of fleece pants. So Mike and I like to wear fleece pants like in a cozy nights when we're just gonna have a fire and watch a movie or something, and I wanted Alice to have some, so I made some with some fleece that I had left over. I made a soaker, like a diaper cover, out of the same material previously. So I just copied a pair of sweatpants of hers, and I didn't have a pattern, but I just sort of stole the dimensions of those other pants and made little fleece pants for her for the winter. Very cozy. Something else I have done in the past, so every time I go to the craft store with Alice, I let her pick out, I will go to like the dried flower section, the clearance part of the dried flower section, and let her pick out a flower. So just let her, I just like to see kind of what catches her eye or what colors she's drawn to. And so one time we went and she picked a sunflower, one time she picked this red daisy, and what I've done with them is to cut the heads. They were on stems. I just cut their heads off, and then I hot glued a magnet. And I sort of glued all the parts too, so she can't just pull the fabric part off of the, you know, the base of the flower. So everything is glued really well. But these are just like refrigerator magnets for her. She likes to pretend to sniff them and, you know, move them around. We don't actually, she doesn't use them on our refrigerator, she uses them on the side of the oven. So these we've had for a while, and for Christmas, she had picked out like a little bouquet of purple flowers, so I just made her some more of these. It'll just be another color, another set to play with. Okay, the last just craft, not a gift, is I took a rocking chair that I found at an antique store. It wasn't an antique actually, but I got it for a really good deal, and I'll put in a picture of what it looked like before and after. So you see it was decorated as like a Finding Nemo thing, which is fine, but just not our style, so I just repainted it to sort of like a, I don't know, dark red sort of coral color. And it's just a little chair that Alice loves because it's her size. She loves sitting in it. She will crawl in and just like bring a book for herself or bring her water cup or something, and she just gets all like proud of herself that it's, you know, she's sitting in her own little chair and she'll rock. It has this shape here because in the original design this was like part of the fish or something, and so my thought was to decoupage on some kind of design, either fabric or paper, but nothing, I haven't found anything yet to catch my eye. So I'm just still keeping an eye out for something that would sort of fit that shape, that, you know, would bring a little bit something extra to the chair, but as it is for now, it's just plain. Okay, so gifts this year, I told you I didn't do a whole lot gift-wise because we've just really run out of time. I had more plans, but this just wasn't the year for it. So one thing that we did accomplish, Alice has gotten into playing with glitter, so we have been decorating various things in glitter and getting it all over the place, and I don't know, it's kind of fun. This is an idea I got from Heather Alkaline Rush in her video about like toddler crafts or something for the holidays, something along those lines. I'll link to it. So we covered little pine cones from our yard in glue and then glitter. And we're giving them, I haven't attached the little strings yet, we're giving them to like both sets of grandparents, and we're going to keep one for our own tree. But I just basically like tied a embroidery floss along, you know, something at the top. Just really simple little glittered pine cones. We also had her paint, she loves painting, so we had her paint another ornament for my parents, but I already mailed it off. I did take a picture, so I'll put that in. Basically, I just bought for $1 a little, I think it was cardboard or particle board birdhouse from Michael's, the craft store. It was just, you know, brown, unpainted. And I just painted the base of it and then let Alice go to town with the green and white. Okay, one other ornament idea, and I ended up just making these for ourselves. It was something I just tried out. And this year we just kept them for ourselves, but maybe next year they'll be a gift. I saw a Pinterest post where somebody had taken like these little styrofoam rings, wrapped yarn around them, and made ornaments. And I just so happened to have something like that. So I made these little ornaments like this. This is just a couple of pieces of yarn wound around it. This is a green, like more knobby yarn, and then I just tied on a couple of little pom-poms. And these are just hanging on our tree. So the materials I actually had were, I guess they're curtain rings. I think you can just, they have little clips here. And what you can do is clip these to fabric, I think, and then you put the rings onto a curtain rod, like for cafe curtains or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, I found these in a thrift store a long time ago, and it just seemed like a good kind of material to have around. So this is what I ended up using. Okay, I made a few hair accessories thinking I was going to give them to Mike's nieces, but I don't think at this point I'm going to. I may save them for Alice, I may save them for the nieces for, you know, a birthday or something, but I may just, I don't know, I just winged it. I just searched around for different things I could do. Here's one of the flowers made out of felt, just simple felt, and I do have a link to that. I just glued it onto a little clip, like a, I don't know what they call these, alligator clip. This is just a little crocheted sort of medallion. I sewed a button to the middle and then tied it to a hair tie. This is a fabric flower that I wanted to attach to a headband, but I couldn't find a plain child's headband yet, so I'm hanging on to this for now. But I don't know, just playing around with a few different things. Okay, also for the nieces, they are getting a dollhouse from their parents this year, so I decided to make a few miniature things. It turns out miniature stuff is really hard to do, so I had these ambitions about doing like all sorts of things. Miniature like pets for the house and miniature teddy bears for the beds and that kind of stuff, but as it turned out, again, I ran out of time and had some technical difficulties, so I made just a little heart pillow, just a little flannel stuffed heart. I made a little tiny kitchen rug. This is crocheted. And I made another little rug for the bedroom or whatever. Also crocheted, I made a cowl for my sister. This is what it looks like. Here, I'll put it on. So it's stretchy. People also call these infinity scarves, I think. This is folded over 3 times, so it's actually quite wide, and she can wear it different ways. But I think she actually gave me this yarn, so she should like the colors to get them back. But it's rust and a cream color, and this is a dark, sort of a dark brown, sort of burgundy, and a pretty blue color. So it's pretty cozy. I kind of want it for myself. Okay, the last crocheted item is I just made a couple of present toppers, I guess, / ornaments. I haven't blocked them yet, so they're going to look a little bit sloppy, but I found a snowflake pattern I liked to crochet. So I just made a couple simple ornaments, or I'm just going to put them on top of a package, I think, for like my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. Oh shoot, I blew it if you're watching. But then it could become like a Christmas tree ornament, and I could starch them. Here's the same one in a shinier yarn, and I do have a pattern for that, so I'll link to it. And the last thing, I just made a couple food items. So for coworkers, I got these little boxes at the craft store. They're metallic and they have a little window, and inside I made this amazing cinnamon roll popcorn, like caramel corn, that has pecans in it and white chocolate over the top. It's totally awesome. I got the recipe from a YouTube subscriber friend named Amy, and it's a winner. We made a batch and ate it all of ourselves, and now we've been able to share it. I had to box it up so that I wouldn't keep eating it. But these are going to be coworker gifts for me and Mike. Another bag, I'm going to probably decorate a little bit more, put something else on top, but this will be a bag for Alice's daycare teacher. And then the last gift was glazed almonds. So I just put them in a jar, you know, with a little piece of fabric and a label. These are honey chipotle almonds. They taste really good, and I will link to the recipe to recommend it, but I have had issues with them just sticking together. So when they open this, my friends open this jar, they may just have like a solid chunk of almonds. I've tried to like toss them in extra spices and in sugar to get them to not be so sticky, but they're pretty sticky. So this would be a good thing to just have out in a dish if you want, like just like a little appetizer kind of snack thing. They're a little bit, not really spicy, kind of like smoky and sweet. But another way to go, if I had to do it again, I think I would just do like a sort of traditional spiced almonds, like cinnamon sugar kind of thing, because that they don't end up sticky. They are dry, so it would be better to put in a jar for somebody. So that's everything this year. Like I said, not a whole lot gift-wise. I don't know, but maybe you got some last-minute ideas for something you can whip together for somebody. Any more questions, just let me know, and Merry Christmas.